Hi folks, welcome to Home Open. This is a half-hour show where we talk to real estate professionals about the biggest investment you'll ever make. And if you're thinking about buying a home, probably the store of your greatest wealth. You're going to need a team of professionals in order to be successful. We're going to talk about real estate brokers that specialize in listing and selling homes. We're going to talk to real estate brokers who are accredited buyer representatives that work for you, the buyer, to get you the best price, best terms, best financing. We're going to talk to mortgage brokers, and we're going to talk to mortgage bankers. We're going to talk to appraisers and find out what does create value and how to get the highest value for your home. We'll talk about what happens at escrow closing, home warranties, and more. So anyway, join us now on Home Open right here on TV Channel 11.
Hello, welcome to another edition of Home Open, where we update you and inform you on the current status of the mortgage and real estate market and what is happening out there, and try to give you a good idea of how you can be successful in investing and buying real estate. I'm Clint Schnorr with Magellan Capital Management. We're one of the sponsors of the show and enjoy being on here each week to keep you updated. I think this week I wanted to focus on giving you some good information about what's happened as far as government regulation goes, what has happened as far as housing goes, and what happened in the mortgage industry. What I'd like to start out with, because I think this may be a lot of what people are dealing with right now, is to focus on what kind of help is out there for those of you that may be struggling with your house payment, or maybe in a situation where you feel you're upside down in your home as far as how much you owe on it versus what the value of that property is. The government has released some very good resources to help you guys out and to help any individual that might have an issue with what's going on right now. On March 4th, the Obama administration introduced the Home Affordable program, which is a two-part program that is designed to help those people who are in a tough situation, work through it and keep performing on their loans. I think a big focus of this program is to keep people in their homes, which is better for the economy as a whole, better for the banks that have the loans on those properties, and better for you as an individual. It's always a little bit scary to have to deal with situations like this, and this program's out there to help us deal with those problems. Right now, it's in its infant stages of the program, and there's some details out there and some progress being made on it. And as the days roll by and months roll by, this program will become a lot more useful for you. The website, which is always a good resource, I feel, to find out about the program, is makinghomeaffordable.gov. And you can get on there right now. It'll talk about eligibility guidelines and information that you need to know if you participate in this program. Basically, to be eligible in the program, you have to meet some certain criteria. You have to have owner-occupied housing. So if you're looking for this to help you out, it needs to be on your primary residence only. You have to have some type of situation that may have reduced your income or changed your living situation to where your house payment isn't quite as affordable as it used to. The next requirement is that you have to have a mortgage below $729,000 to be able to be eligible for the program. You can get on there and go through that checklist and get the information that you need on that to make sure that you're eligible for it. It's very easy to use, just a couple of clicks, and it will get you the information that you need. But what the program's designed to do is two separate things. One, it's designed to provide a possible refinance of your existing loan to reduce your interest rate, to take advantage of where mortgage rates are today. Historically, we're seeing lows on mortgage interest rates that have never been seen before. And so it's a great opportunity to be able to participate that and use that to reduce your monthly mortgage payment. Let's talk about that refinance program right now, and then we'll talk about the separate program that's available with the Home Affordable product. The refinance is intended to help people that maybe are in a situation where they owe the amount on their home that your home is actually worth now, or slightly more than maybe what it's worth right now. The refinance program is going to allow those people to participate in today's mortgage interest rates up to a loan to value of 105%. So what that means is if you own a home and owe $200,000 on that home, or even $210,000 on that home, your home would only have to appraise for $200,000 to be able to participate in that program. That's great news and a great advantage for a lot of people to be able to participate in the program. Typical lending ratios only allow us to go up to 95% of the value of your home. And so when we have the people that are out there right now that are upside down in their house, it really doesn't allow them to participate in the refinance program. On a day in, day out basis, we run into that all the time, and hopefully this program will allow those people to participate in the refinance and get a lower monthly payment. The program, again, is designed to lower that interest rate, lower your monthly payment to make your home affordable again for you. The details of this portion of the program aren't fully released yet. What that means is as we as lenders and servicers out there hear about these government programs, they have to send the details out to us of how we're going to be able to participate in that program and give us the information that we need to make it useful for you. So look forward to that anytime in the next 10 to 15 business days. I think we'll get more information on that. Somewhere in the middle of April to end of April, we'll be able to help you out and start working on those type of programs. The other portion of this program is a modification process. What a modification is it takes your existing loan and keeps that loan in place on your property, but modifies the term on that loan. What the modification may do is reduce your interest rate or somehow reduce your payment so that it is more affordable for you. Still, in the same process, you're going to actually contact your servicer, so who you're making your payments to right now, and they are going to request you to provide some information to them. What this information is generally going to be is information about your income on a monthly basis, information about the payment on your mortgage right now, which they should have, information about any second mortgages that you have outstanding and what those payments are, and then information about any credit card, car loans, student loans, debt like that you're required to pay on a monthly basis. What the intent of the program is to bring your house payment down to 31% of your gross monthly income. So if you make $1,000 a month, your house payment should only be $310. So that's the intent of the program. But what will happen is you'll package that information up, write a letter to the company that you make your payments to, and you'll fax that into them. Each of them have a 1-800 number on their mortgage statements that you get each month that gives you the information you need to be able to send that in and to be able to get that information to them. At that point, they will start processing through it. And I would recommend maybe that you send that information in, call the next day, make sure that they receive the information, and then give them some time, because it is going to be a lengthy process and there are a lot of people that need to participate in it. So the amount of workload they have right now to work through on this program is substantial. So give them 3 or 5 days. Call them back, say, hey, how's it going? Do you have any new information for me? But be patient with them, because they are trying to do their best to get through that program. But you need to also be persistent, so that make sure that you get to participate in this program and make sure it works for you. So if you need immediate assistance and you're imperative that you're going to lose your home shortly, there is another resource out there for you to call, and that's the Homeowner Hope Hotline. And that phone number is 888-995-HOPE. And again, you can find all the information about both the refinance process and the modification process on the website that is at www.makinghomeaffordable.gov. I think that's a good resource for people who are struggling out there to start with, and to be able to get working in the direction that they need to be able to make their home affordable for them again. The next thing that I'd like to talk about is a great opportunity for anybody out there who is a first-time home buyer. Now, a first-time home buyer, for those of you that want to clarify that term, is anybody who has not owned a home in the last 3 years. So how we're going to determine whether you are a first-time home buyer is to take a look at your 2006, 2007, 2008 tax return. and make sure that you don't have any mortgage interest deduction on that tax return or any mortgage interest paid reported on that tax return. So if you have not owned a home in the last 3 years, there's a wonderful opportunity for you to purchase a home right now in the real estate market. The government has put together an $8,000 tax credit for you to be able to use to purchase a home. Now the tax credit works like this. You have to meet some eligibility criteria. You have to be buying a home that you're actually going to occupy. You have to be that first-time home buyer that we've already talked about, and you have to meet certain income guidelines. If you're a single person, your household income must be $75,000 or less to participate in the program. And if you're a married couple, your household income needs to be $150,000 or less to receive that credit. The great part about this program is it actually allows you to receive $8,000 back when you file your tax return to reimburse you for your down payment on a home. That's a substantial amount of money, and there's a lot of programs that $8,000 can take you a long ways on purchasing a home. The other highlight that I wanted to mention on that is that this program allows for that $8,000 to be received, and it's completely free money. There's no repayment requirement as long as you live in that home for 3 years. And that's a great opportunity to be able to take advantage of and use those funds. A lot of people want to ask the question, obviously, is when do we need to buy a home by? The program started on January 1st of 2009, and you must have purchased that home, so closed on that home, by December 1st of 2009. So there's a good opportunity still. It's early in the year, but there's a lot of time left that you can go ahead and participate in that program. The other question that also comes up a lot of times when people are introduced to this program is, when do you get the money? Meaning, when do you get that tax refund that would reimburse you for the down payment? That tax refund will come when you file your 2009 tax return. So that would be in any time after January 1st of 2010 that you're eligible to go ahead and file that tax return. And then when you got your refund check, those funds would be given back to you at that point. There are some great resources, though, that would allow you to use that money up front. Idaho Housing and Finance Association has just introduced a new program that is called the Tax Credit Loan. And what they will actually do is they will front that money to you, so front a portion of that $8,000 to you in the form of a second mortgage on any home that you purchase this year. And then at the point that you got your tax refund, you would go ahead and pay that loan off. It's a great opportunity for you to be able to capitalize on that program now. That's the hurdle that probably is presented by this program, or maybe the downfall of this program is, well, a lot of people don't have that $8,000 to make that down payment right now. And if you can't get it until you've actually purchased the home, it doesn't do anybody any good. But this new program that is introduced by Idaho Housing and Finance Association allows you to use those funds now to be able to buy that home, and then when you get the refund, to pay off that loan. More information on that can be found on the internet as well at www.idamortgage.com. So that's IDAMORTGAGE.com. Or just type in your search engine Idaho Housing and Finance Association, and I'm sure that website will pull up for you so you can get that information. But a great opportunity. Right now, with that $8,000 credit, you could use a lot of different forms of financing to buy some very reasonable homes. And that's probably we're going to go into our next phase of the program. We're going to talk about interest rates and where the mortgage interest rates are today. And then we're kind of probably going to bring all these pieces together so that you know how to be able to use them to your advantage to participate in some of the great deals that are out there in the mortgage market or in the real estate market. Like I had mentioned before in the program, mortgage interest rates continue to be somewhat on a downward trend. We've seen some leveling in the last few weeks, but they are historically lower than anything that has been out there in a long time. Right now we're seeing rates in the high 4% range, depending on your qualification for the program, which is an absolutely phenomenal interest rate. Historically, if you looked back, I don't think interest rates have ever been this low before, which means it's a great opportunity to take advantage of where the interest rates are and the opportunities that abound with that. what I want to talk about is why interest rates are so low. Interest rates are low because they are being driven by the government to keep them low to spur a rebound in our economy. Kind of our current economic crisis started with housing, and one way that we can accelerate the pace at which we recover from this downturn is to help out housing. Housing is a large part of our economy and has far-reaching effects on different things in the economy. So to be able to help out with low interest rates is a great way to get people out there buying homes again and making it affordable for you to own a home. The government has come out and said that they are actually in the process of purchasing mortgage-backed securities. What a mortgage-backed security is a bunch of mortgage loans bundled together and sold in the investment markets to be able to finance those loans over time. And with the government stepping in to purchase those loans, they're able to buy them at a price that causes interest rates to go down. And so they've been keeping interest rates low, and I think they'll continue to do that into the future, as that's the plan that has been announced by the Treasury. The other reason, or other big question that usually comes out about interest rates is why, if the government's doing this, aren't they a lot lower than where they are today? Well, one, if you look at history, we're in really good territory on rates. They're very, very low. It's a great opportunity to capitalize on where they're at right now. Number two, a lot of the stimulus packages that our government has put together to help our economy out, to help us recovery, require money. That money comes from the sale of Treasury securities or debt of the United States of America. Mortgage-backed securities, U.S. Treasuries, other types of bonds all fall into what's considered the bond market. And right now what we're seeing in the bond market is an absolutely phenomenal supply of those securities. What that means is there's so much supply out there, and typically a little bit less demand historically than there has been, that the prices on these products do not go up. Meaning that the amount of supply out there causes the prices to actually go down. When prices go down, it means that interest rates go up. But with the government intervention of buying these securities and buying mortgage-backed securities, they've actually been able to keep interest rates very low for us to be able to participate. So again, phenomenal opportunity right now to jump into the mortgage market and either refinance your home, maybe purchase a home, but any way you look at it, you'll probably be able to capitalize on some very low interest rates, and that's a good thing for anybody right now in the market. The next thing I wanted to talk to you about is actually the real estate market and some ways that you might be able to capitalize on what's happened. A lot of people ask us as mortgage professionals and real estate professionals, is it a good time to be buying real estate? And that big question out there is, have we hit bottom? That's a hard question to answer. It's always easy to look back in history to tell when we've hit a bottom in the real estate market. But with the deals that we're seeing out there for new home purchases and homes that are for sale on the market, I would think that we are at or near a real estate bottom, at least in the Boise market. Now you have to understand that real estate is local, meaning that Boise may bottom out as a market, or the Treasure Valley, a lot sooner, or maybe even later than what the national economy does or other places in the country. So it's felt in the Treasure Valley that we may have hit that bottom now, and there's absolutely phenomenal opportunities to be able to capitalize on that. Seeing homes sell for significantly lower than what it actually costs to build those homes, it's just something that's unprecedented. And now would be a great time for you to be able to participate in that. You can find some excellent opportunities to find some really good buys on some quality homes. When you take that, the opportunity out there to buy those great homes, and you put that in combination with historically low interest rates, the tax buyer home credit, or the first-time home buyer tax credit, you look at those components, and it's just a great time to be out there looking at homes. It's what would be typically called a buyer's market. There's a lot of incentives for you to get out there and do that. So I encourage you to look at the opportunity. Maybe possibly stop paying rent somewhere and start owning a home. Paying rent is something that you give the money to somebody to have them make money on an investment. When you invest in a home, you actually are investing for yourself and looking at an asset for the long haul. One thing I would like to kind of take that as a segue into is the opportunities in investing in real estate right now. What people should know is that loans are still available out there. We have loans for first-time home buyers that allow significantly low down payments. So that $8,000 tax credit can cover an entire down payment on a property. There's a lot of opportunity for people that also are looking for loans for investment properties. We still have financing for those people for investment properties. Yeah, it doesn't come as easy as it did, in the days of the height of the mortgage industry, and I guess we're looking at that and suffering from the consequences of how easy that credit came then. But right now, there's still good quality loans available at historically phenomenal interest rates for you to be able to use to purchase real estate. The other thing that has come up, and that is a lot of discussion in the real estate industry, is the possibility of using real estate as a hedge for inflation. That may be a big concept to grasp, but inflation hurts everybody out there. As inflation happens, it means the costs of goods and services goes up. If the value of our US dollar goes down at the exact same time, it causes a huge problem with inflation, meaning you may not be making enough money to keep up with inflation or making enough return on your investment assets to be able to keep up with inflation. There's basically been two types of items that are considered good hedges for inflation, meaning things that will typically hold value in an inflationary market or keep pace of appreciation with keeps pace with inflation. Those two items are either precious metals, so gold, silver, those type of things, or real estate. Now, the problem with gold and silver is, one, it can be hard to purchase. You can buy gold coins, gold bullion, bars of gold and stuff like that. And you typically can't get loans to purchase precious metals. It's hard to find that. There are some funds out there, and mutual funds, investment vehicles that allow you to purchase, precious metals in the type of a security transaction. But a lot of people look at that of buying the gold coins, buying the money to be able to just put it in a safety deposit box somewhere, and if doomsday comes, they have that actual hard asset that they are able to use to barter for food and clothing or stuff like that, or the needs that they need. But the other portion of things that becomes a good hedge against inflation is real estate. Again, you're owning real property with real estate. It's a hard, tangible asset, and if you look at historical figures, it typically appreciates at a pace of the inflationary rate, or better than inflation. The great part about real estate in regards to the difference between that and precious metals is real estate can actually generate income for you. As a homeowner and an individual homeowner instead of an investor, real estate's going to provide some tax benefits for you. You're able to borrow money at today's low interest rates, and because you're borrowing that money, you may be eligible to do itemized deductions on your taxes, meaning you can write off the mortgage interest that you pay on your home and actually reduce your tax rate at the end of each year. So in that function, it becomes a hedge against inflationary pressure because it expands your income. The other portion that you may look at with real estate is that it can be an income-producing asset for you. Unlike precious metals, you buy those, you can't rent those out to anybody or something like that. But if you're buying investment properties, you can actually gain income by renting those properties out and being able to gain the rental income on those properties. One thing that everybody always needs as a basic necessity is a place to live. They're either going to own a home or they're going to rent some type of home or dwelling to be able to live in. And so as a holder of real estate assets and investments, you're able to actually capitalize on other people's needs. And if doomsday comes, in all reality, you do have a very marketable commodity. You have housing and shelter. And so when people need items or stuff like that, you can trade or do whatever you need to with that asset. I don't think any of those scenarios are actually going to come into play, but I want you to understand how come real estate can be a good hedge against inflation. If you look at history, real estate has appreciated over time to actually keep up and far exceed inflation. Right now we're seeing obviously a check or a step backwards in the real estate market, but right now where prices are, it may be a good time to be able to purchase some real estate, use IRA assets or any of your investment assets to start back on that path of success of building assets and building wealth. It's a great opportunity to do that. If you also look at that rent situation, if you can pay that loan off in some amount of time, whether it be just the standard 30 years or you are able to rent it out and pay it off in 15 years, that home at that point becomes a good source of income for you. You're still owning the asset, you don't owe any money on it, and you're able to still continue to rent that property out to make income on it. What I want you guys to understand from today's segment is there are some wonderful opportunities for you. If you're struggling right now on your house payment, go ahead and contact the Home Affordable program at makinghomeaffordable.gov and see if you might be able to participate in that program and capitalize on it. If you're looking at buying real estate as a primary residence, there's some great opportunities with low interest rates, a tax credit to help you with the down payment, and there's ways to get that tax credit now. If you're looking at buying real estate at all, it's a great opportunity to participate in some phenomenal deals out there. There are some homes out there that are being marketed at prices well below what the cost to build it was. And that's a time when it looks like you need to invest in some real estate. And for what I do in the mortgage industry, rates are at a historic low. If you need to refinance, contact somebody or contact us in regards to doing that. If you're looking at purchasing a home, don't miss out on the opportunity to have an interest rate that it will be the lowest you'll probably see in your lifetime. Again, I'm Clint Schnorr with Magellan Capital Management. You can have more information on this program or more information about the industry by visiting us at magellancm.com on the internet or calling us at 489-1350. Thanks for joining us for Home Open, and we hope that you have a wonderful week.
Well, this half hour just flew by. I hope you learned something about the real estate industry that you can use to save time and money to get the best buy or to sell your home for top dollar right here on Home Open. Join us next week, same time on TV Channel 11 for Home Open, and we will open our doors to the professionals that can make a difference in your life. Remember, real estate is not only the biggest investment that you'll ever make, it's probably the greatest store of value you'll ever have. So the more you can learn, probably the more you'll make. So join us next week, right here on Home Open.